So, hey everyone, my name is Bree, and I wanted to get on here and talk to everyone about career choices and really my main reason for wanting to switch over to a career in tech. I do have a military background. I was in the Army for 8 years, and the reason I joined was better opportunity, right, to challenge myself. Um, just to really do something I've never done before. Um, and I was really surprised and shocked of everything that I learned how to do, um, and the limits and the boundaries that were pushed, so to speak, when I was in the military, and just learning from that experience and going forward and trying to pick a different career after spending the 8 years in the Army and traveling the world and deploying. So after the military, I decided to go to school. I was going to school in Hawaii. I was going to a cosmetology school. I was going to Paul Mitchell, actually. Um, and I will say that it was quite a change from being in the Army, from going to like a predominantly male um, work environment to working with a lot of women, a lot of women that were like in their 20s or younger. And that was quite a change for me. And the one thing I realized about being a hairdresser, about well, going to school to take the test to be licensed hairdresser, is that you work a lot with your hands and you're on your feet a lot. And sometimes you might have a customer, you might have a client, and you can't go and take a break. Like sometimes when you're bleaching their hair or doing highlights or balayage or whatever, like you can't go take a break and eat a snack. Like a lot of times you're just hustling and bustling, and that's not something I really enjoy. I did enjoy some aspects of it, as far as like when it came to the skincare, like the esthetician portion of it. Um, but when it came to like chemical and processing, that was kind of the part for me that I didn't quite resonate with. So I ended up choosing a career field to work for the federal government. And I will say that working for the federal government was honestly, it was a breath of fresh air, I will say, from the military, because definitely when they're similar, because the military is like it's the federal government, and then where I worked was also considered the federal government. So you can buy back your time, and you can't end up retiring, transferring your time in service to your current position. So that was something that was appealing to me when I got out of the military. And I would say that I had a lot of freedom as far as my work schedule, and as far as when I processed certain cases, and I had a lot of freedom as far as my workload. It wasn't a whole lot of micromanaging. It was independent work that we did, and that meant a lot to me. And then COVID came along, and all of our face-to-face jobs, going into the office every day, turned into remote working from home. So that's kind of when I started to really understand like the work from home dynamic, I will say. And that's what really actually got me interested. And the reason why I chose technology over cosmetology was because I can work from home. Like, and once I actually started working from home, when I was working for the federal government, and we all had to go home because of COVID, so we all had to work from home, and we all had to switch everything. I saw how, I'm not gonna say how far behind we were, like, but there was a lot of things that could have been done digitally, and um, there was a lot of IT portions in there. Like, we could have been working from home a long time ago. Like, we did not have to go into the office to process our work. And that was sort of my first initial, I guess, love for technology and love for IT came from from starting to work remote and realizing that you have a VPN and you have a digital phone. You can put a headset on, or you can just use the mic from your laptop, and you're able to work anywhere. And that's really where I kind of fell in love with being able to work from my pajamas and really have more of a home work balance. And that was really important, because your work is like your second home when you're going into the office every single day. And then when you have a home office, it's a different I feel like it's more freedom as far as your schedule, like what you can do. Like if you have kids and if they're sick, or you have a family member to take care of, I really feel like working from home gives you a lot of freedom and a lot of flexibility, which is why I was very interested in remote work. I don't have to physically go in to service my clients. And if you are an introvert, I feel like you don't have to really interact with people on a day-to-day basis, as far as if you are not like an extroverted person where you different personalities. If you're an introvert and you don't want to necessarily deal with the different personalities and the different emotions and moods that your coworkers may have or that customers may have, working from home and working remote is one of those luxuries that you don't really have to deal with people that often, unless it's a Skype meeting or something like that, or team meeting, but typically that's over the phone anyways. Sometimes they want to do a video call, but anyways, so I worked from home for about 2 years, and that's when and then when we were called back into the office, that's when I realized that I didn't want to have to go into the office, especially once COVID happened and all this other stuff was going on. I didn't want to have to go into the office. I wanted the luxury of being able to work from home. And that's when I had to make a career decision as far as what I wanted to do going forward. Did I want to work for a organization where I didn't have that freedom with my schedule? Did I want to work for an organization that I had to alter and modify my vacation time according to my seniority, or according to someone else that's been here for 15 years? I've only been here for 2 or 3 years, and we both want to go on vacation at the same time. We both want to go spring break at the same time, and I'm not able to take off. And it's when you're in the federal government, then you understand that having your leave and not necessarily your time in service, but your seniority is important when it comes time to taking off, and your sick days, or if you get sick, or you get COVID, like all of that stuff, it's allocated time, and it's not necessarily geared towards the employee. It's not designed for the employee. It's designed for the company. It's designed for the organization. And when you're working in IT, and you're working with a lot of these tech companies, it's designed for you. It's designed for the worker. And in a sense, you're a private contractor. You may be employed by a company, but you have skills and knowledge you can take outside of what you're doing for that company, and you can do other work as well. You can contract out and do other work as well. And I really feel like that's an opportunity where you can financially, you can grow in the future. It's also something I feel like has job security as well, just because we all know that technology isn't going anywhere. Computers aren't going anywhere. The technology is just going to continue to advance. Why not be a part of that, versus not being a part of it? So that's my personal opinion on it. And that's the reason kind of why I wanted to switch over to something in technology, just because I wanted my freedom, my personal freedom to dictate my schedule. And I wanted to be around an organization that really cares genuinely about their employees. So that's my story, a little quick story, and I hope to see you guys later on in the future.